I'll just wait to see who comes in. I have to come and do this because I've just seen something and it's like, yay. So we'll see. Whew. Why does it look weird? Because the lighting's not on. Hang on. The lighting's on, but this lighting's not on. Hi. Let's see if this works a bit better. Hi, Revolution Revisited. I'm gonna take you back in time. Plain old Dave. Hello. I would like to say, don't anybody get triggered with what I'm about to say if you're not into it. It's fine, but we are going back in time. And this is what the chat's sort of to do with. For the people who've been researching other stuff, not just where we live and what shape it might be, totally other stuff. Hi, Tapper. I've put my Trump hat on I got from Trump Towers in New York because I'm not going to be able to wear it soon when I get my dreadlocks in, I don't think. So I thought I'd best get it on. Do the supporting. I've got my son's mug that I got him for Christmas, but I just thought it's relevant with what I'm sort of talking about in a sense. So I just thought I'd have a drink out of this one. And one of the characters is called Finn, and my youngest is called Finn, so just throw that out there as well. I'll just wait for a few more people that are in, and then I'm just going to waffle a little bit. It's not a long one, it's just that I think I know some of you will have seen this. I know some of you follow this channel. I've only watched little bits. I can't keep up with everything because obviously everything's out everywhere. And I'm also just watching the show happen with my popcorn. But I know there's a lot of you that may have seen this or may follow this, but if this isn't for you, then this is for the people who don't, or you may want to re-listen to it to what's going on right now. Now, let's take a look back in time when, I don't know if it was last year or when Q sort of started, because if you don't know and you're new to my channel, I am a Q supporter and I am a Trump supporter. And if you don't know, if you're a Trump supporter, but you're thinking that Q's a psyop, which most people say, you need to research a little bit more because Trump is part of the Q team. Just want to throw that out there. Whether you believe that or not is up to you, but researching does you a world. What's it called? I don't even know what the word is. Anyway. So last year, year before, whatever, the most thing I've been shouting out about has been, not so much now because I've done it all, but I'm just going to re-go over. And if people are like, oh, you're just jumping on the bandwagon, then maybe you haven't been watching me from the start, and maybe you haven't been watching me last year and the year before when I came into the Q arena and was talking and have always mentioned Nikola Tesla, whoop, whoop, because that's the most exciting thing that excites me about the whole thing with Trump's uncle, and the whole thing with JFK Jr. So just saying, hello people, hope you all had a good day. Yes, I have. Yes, hope you have too. No, I didn't have a drink at all. It doesn't bother me. But, each their own. So, meaning, like I said, if you're not new to my channel, you'll know Q supporter, and we know this stuff 2 years in advance. I'm with you, Dolly. Yeah, but what I'm about to say, Linda, is the most stuff I talked about, if you're new to my channel, I don't know, was Tesla and Donald Trump and Donald Trump's uncle, what people didn't really research on, even in the Q realms. I'm not saying you in chat, I'm just saying people didn't research on the whole thing with Trump and this book. And my dad got me this last Christmas. Baron Trump's Travels and Underground and Adventures of Little Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey. Yeah. Trump, The Art of the Deal, Not the Art of War. And yes, I do have the Q book for just for keepsake. I've not really looked at it because I don't need to, but it's just there for history, sort of. We were a part of it. I'm a part of it. A lot of us are a part of it. But the whole thing meaning, oh, and we'll just look for a few pictures of this, you know, because the mainstream are always shouting out he's racist, this, that, and the other. And people who don't know any better regurgitate it because they sit listening to the news thinking the news is free. Hi, Free State UK. How are you? Seen anything about Q lately? Trump's there tweeting out some retweets of QAnon's, which has just dropped. So you will be hearing about it in 2020. Just want to put that right there, right now. You know, I've done the whole chat on why it took so long and why people have moaned about it. It's because, have you started to see that the news just tell crap on everything, you know, in America and about Trump and all that stuff? You looked into a little bit of it yet? Just saying. But yeah, this book, I love this picture. Where is it? Some pictures in the middle. This is an older book, so pictures of Trump when he was younger. Football player with kids, with the veterans. You know, people go, yeah, he's just pretending. No, he wasn't. I've shouted this out before. Free State UK knows. I've been saying this for a long time. I got the mick taken out of me for a very long time. Funny how a lot of people are talking about all the stuff we were talking about a couple of years ago. And it's going to be coming out in 2020 anyway. Trump's just started tweeting about QAnon conspiracy theory tweets because he knows. And the last drop that was dropped said about the media. I will bring it right up now. Yeah, you can leave Q to me. You can't get on it now anyway because it's been done. Do you know what I mean? But the point is, I'm saying that things we were talking about, and you know what I was talking about, and I'm not just talking about JFK Jr., I'm talking about all the other things to do with kids, other places in the world with things that are happening. And if you've ever heard of other people talk about it, it has been shown up to be the truth. How they say, for instance, they're saying Trump's been impeached. He's not been impeached. It means he's out of office. He's not out of office. It's all connected. Anyway, just let me go over just to read it out. So like I said, you don't have to be into it. It was just another wake-up tool. But there's more behind it, what I'm going to talk about in a minute. What I was talking about a few years ago, I've just seen a great channel doing it. And I think Tapper got in to watch it. And I thought, yeah, people are researching and realising some of the stuff that I was waffling on about is totally linking up and totally making sense. So when you actually research. So I'm watching, listening, but driving. Hi. Yeah, well, we go one, we go all. And apparently this channel that I'm about to shout out in a minute, not just yet, a guy on it who's Canadian, lives in the UK. I'd love to know who that is because he's a QAnon. And he knows that, he said, Canada are very brainwashed. He said again, and then UK is probably like second because, you know, it's all brainwashing. So let me just find one of my favourite ones that's just gone out. Some of you may have seen this. It doesn't matter if you're not into Q, it doesn't matter. So this has just gone out. And there's Trump walking off his plane. And it says, when will they ask the question? Now, we know we've been waiting for this one. We've been waiting. Patience is a virtue. People always moan about, why is it not happening when it has happened? If you realise how big it is and how many indictments there is, 130 or over 130,000, then you might realise why. And then it says, something big's coming. People say, yeah, you're always saying that. Realise how it works and how many people are involved worldwide that were involved in the corruptness. And then you might realise why, you know, it took so long. But patriots have fought and fought and fought and fought and won't let it lie. So, just saying. So, as I said, hi QD. Some of you will remember that, well, like I said before, Free State, keep watching and keep an open mind, you know. Sure. Well, like I said, see, this is another one. Still waiting for Hillary Clinton to be nicked like Q said was going to happen last year or two. Yeah, realise how it works and how they have to go after these people. More like detained. You know, do you know how big it is? That's all I'll say. Do you know how big it is? Yeah. Do you know what mainstream media are? Just saying. And as I've said before, well, you know what I've been talking about. Now, one of the biggest things I used to talk about a couple of years ago, it's not like I'm not still talking about, I don't believe it. I'm watching the shit show happen. Their shit show, like the Democrats and the things in the UK. I'm watching it all roll out. Mainstream media don't put anything out that's coming out, but they're going to have to. They're going to have to ask the question, who's Q? Because President Trump is tweeting it out, and you can't, people can see what he's tweeting out, that someone will ask the question. You can't not ask the question, right? So I'm just putting that out there right now. So I was talking about Trump. support him. Nikola Tesla, the whole JFK Jr. thing as well, but I've always talked about Nikola Tesla and Donald Trump's uncle, John G. Trump. I've said this, and people who know who's been watching me, even Free State, know that I was talking about this. And a lot of people know this. It's not like I'm going, yes, I know, when nobody else knew. A lot of people know. But the channel that's just dropped a video of them chatting about different things to do with Project Looking Glass. Project Looking Glass that they put in a lot of films. And if you know about that, it doesn't matter if you're not into all this, keep an open mind, because you're going to have an open mind come 2020. Really open mind. Project Looking Glass was the whole thing to do with time machines. Now, if we look at Nikola Tesla with his currents and some of his inventions and things that he knew about electrical, and he was born, if you don't know, on the day of a, well, lightning storm. Now, go and check that out. I did all my research. This is why I've always said it doesn't matter what people say to me. I actually got off my ass when I was finding out about stuff to do with Q that led me into different things and researched it. I didn't just sit there and go, oh, somebody said that the FBI, Donald Trump's uncle, he stole the papers and this, that, and the other. Yeah, he took some of them. Do you think the FBI at that time were not corrupt? I'd want to take them as well. But when you actually look into his background, Trump's as well, and stop listening to the mainstream media and what other people are doing Chinese whispers about, and actually research on stuff, you might start linking the links up from the past. Past proves the future. So, thank you, Tapper. So the channel was, and I'm going to play a little bit of it, but it's just a thing I want to bring to the people that are into this. If you're not into it and you're not bothered, and you don't want to sit and listen to these guys that have got a great channel, and yes, they do talk about Q, but you shouldn't even get triggered by that, because the people who get triggered by Q, if you're only into the thing of like, oh, Tommy Robinson, and we know what's going on in the UK with, the politics, it's much more behind the politics. It's all interlinked. It's all patriots fighting all over the world, because believe it or not, there's more behind that. There's layers after layers after layers. It's dimensional as well. Some people are not into that. They can't open their minds to it. That's okay. You're going to in the end, because you're going to have to, about what's about to come. And I'm not interested in people shouting out, we've been saying in the 80s, it's coming, it's coming. Learn how big it is and how long it's been going on, and how would you put a plan together to get this information, to get these people, don't act so stupid, you know what I'm saying? So I did get your reply. I can't remember what it was about, or what channel it was about, because obviously I've had loads of things going on. It's Christmas, and I'm seeing somebody tomorrow. I'm seeing some great people tomorrow. I'll talk about that in a bit. So just let me play a bit of this. So I'd only say go and watch it if you're interested or slightly interested, because things start linking. And like I said, I was talking about this last year and the year before about Tesla. My biggest thing, apart from all the corrupt stuff, is Tesla, free energy, what Trump knew, Julian Assange. I was talking about Julian Assange and Donald Trump's uncle. I'll get to that in a minute. So let me just find the channel, and Tapper will drop it in chat for you. And I'm going to read the poem out. I have to remind me to read the Q poem. It's been sat there for ages, and I've read it out a few times, but like, I've still stayed strong from the beginning. One thing, I've still stayed strong. I've never fell off this path, and never will, because I've researched and realised, you want to say it's a good thing. It was a good thing. So I'm just going to go through a little bit of this, because the people who are interested, and even interested in thinking, oh, maybe I'll just go and have a listen to it. It's a long listen, but it's a good listen while you're cleaning or whatever. And I've still got to listen to the end bit. But let's just show you a little bit. So, and there's a lot of stuff that on other channels and all that about what's going on now. And it's like, I can't really look at all of it, because I know what's going on with most things of that sort of stuff. Not in a big-headed way, but when you've researched, it's like, right, we're just watching it. But this was just putting the whole, like, the Great Awakening, Trump, free energy, Trump's uncle, Nikola Tesla, I can't speak, Melania, all that sort of stuff together. And most of you are interested in that, because I've been talking about for a bit, will love this. But like I said, some of you have probably already seen it. So I'm just giving it to the people who haven't, or may be interested. So I was watching the great channel of Red Pill 78, and it is the Friday night live stream, Colago, is that how you say it? I don't know. Colago, of Where We Go One We Go, Marvelous Adventures in Time. This is about timelines, and could there be a time machine? This guy was like, Well, I just used to think it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I just look into it. The more you look into it, concerned with CERN and stuff like that, and what maybe it was compared to what other people were saying it was, because there's two sides that use it, blah, 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 blah. You start linking things up with Donald Trump and other things, and you're like, actually, let's think outside the box. This could actually happen. I believe in it anyway. I'm very open-minded. I've had orbs coming in. I've had all sorts. We know that because we've seen, and that's a form of energy. We are all energy. Everything is energy. We are all electric, whatever. Just throwing it out there. Don't need to go on and on about that. Hi, everybody who's come in. So let me find the bit where, you know, people were talking about the ether, the brainwashing, the energy, the timelines, the looking glass, which reminded me of the series on Netflix called Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. And holistic means part of everything, you know. And Julian Assange and all that good stuff. So let's just find out a little, where were they up to on here?
Linked up, but they were very close. He talks about him a lot as if they were very close. It's his only uncle.
Right. So we're talking about Donald Trump's uncle being his only uncle, and he was very close with him. Now, I've talked about this before. Donald Trump's uncle knew Nikola Tesla, had his notes because he was a scientist in the FBI. I've talked about this briefly before, the other year or so ago. The FBI went in. Is there anything he can use? Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe took the notes. Some notes went missing. So you're telling me they haven't got something? Donald Trump knows. And then you've got this book came out in the 1900s. The obviously the first copy of Baron Trump's Marvelous Adventures Underground, and the little boy not on the front of this cover, because this is I think 3 books in one. The boy looks like Baron Trump today. Oh, a bit of a coincidence, people will say. Nothing's a coincidence. And also it's written in like the 1900s, and all that stuff that's going on, timeline changing, more people talking about the Mandela effect now, which is brilliant. So let's just listen to the little bit he was saying.
You might as well read people.
64, so I don't know the exact date.
Yeah, something like that.
Before being transported back to you know, whatever the present day was, and he was involved with something called Project Pegasus.
And they're going about gematria and the numbers that add up and stuff like that. And in the Q book, in the Baron Trump's book, the 17th chapter talks about Trump stuff and things. You just need to listen to it. It's ace.
Andrew Basiago is a fascinating character. I would love to have him on the show.
Yeah, as Tapper said, everything links together with Trump. So you need to get with it, people.
But yes, so we're kind of drawing now from other people's testimony about their involvement with government time travel experiments.
Yes, I will say that as well, Maggie. They do mention the last president, because when you look at this book and the last president written years ago, you're like, oh my God, it's a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. Past proves the future.
Right. So I was trying to, you know, just find different people who were talking about, you know, Al Bielek was another one. And again, like I said, you know, these stories, it's so crazy to hear people talking about, like traveling to the future.
It's not though, is it?
They were highly fascinating. It's something that's always fascinated me. There's a cool movie I used to love called Primer, where they create a time machine.
I've seen it.
Yeah. I love the movie, indie film or whatever.
And I'll just let you listen to a little bit of it. That's why people say, oh, it's just in the films. Yeah, how many films have time machines in Stargate? All the film, yeah, it's just a film. No, it isn't. It isn't just a film. They're trying to tell you. They've got the like they said on air, and that's on a Netflix documentary as well, whether people are into not I can't remember what it's called, but we're like 50 years behind the military, because obviously we know the military have got certain stuff, and they know more like 100 years, I'd say, behind technology that people think we haven't got, which a lot of us damn well know we have. If you think we haven't got these devices, then I don't know where you've been on this planet or realm or whatever shape you want to call it. Not really bothered about the shape, but I'm just saying you've all been lied to.
But that's really cool. But it's just, man, they're kind of believable.
Well, let's go back now to Tesla's work, because how does Tesla intersect with Trump and his family?
Well, if you all know and you've been watching me for a bit, I was always shouting out about Tesla because I just love it, connected to Trump.
Well, here's something that I thought was interesting is
that's the future.
When Trump's grandfather, Frederick Trump, had come to New York
Now I talk about his uncle, talk about his grandfather, and then his uncle John G. Trump, who looks like Julian Assange, which I'll show you a picture of in a minute.
You know, he had come to New York first, and he was, I believe, a barber, and then he had gone out west for a little bit, back to Germany. Then when he comes back to New York, it was, I believe, 1891, which is the time when Tesla was, you know, he comes back to New York. He's wealthy by this point. We're rich, you know, maybe not quite Donald Trump wealthy, but, you know, he had a decent amount of money. Tesla was famous at this time around New York. There's more than likely that they would be frequenting the same, you know, social like gatherings, you know, things around the city. Like, here's Tesla, he's, you know, a low key famous New Yorker. You know, here's Frederick Trump, he's got money, he's going to be in these circles. So I feel like there's a little bit of an overlap there, but really I think the huge connection is how they brought in John Trump to go over his work, all his work, and then he gave his synopsis was, "Oh, there's nothing really to see here," which we all know.
And I said this ages ago. They said, "Oh, there's nothing to see here. You know, we haven't got any." Really?
But that's not true. Well, if he has Tesla, you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
So that just seems like a little like, you know, trying to keep some stuff to himself in a way.
Well, completely. You know, I mean, it should be noted that.
And I don't think it was to keep stuff for himself. I think it was to help what's going on now for the future. Good person. Like, people go on about bloodlines and elites. Don't mean you have to be part of that before anyone gets triggered by all of that.
When Tesla died, the FBI zoomed in and they immediately cleared.
The FBI zoomed in because the FBI got hijacked as well. It's not everybody in the FBI and everybody in the CIA, but they did. What would happen if they got this technology? How would they use it on the people?
Out his hotel suite, because he was living in a hotel at this point. As an old man, died a pauper, basically, with just.
I've talked about Edison before, because if anyone knows about Tesla, as Maggie was just saying there, then you would know about Edison. Edison stole Tesla's current. You know, I've done the whole thing about putting electricity through an elephant, blaming it on Tesla and all that. But like I said, when people research, instead of just listening to me or anyone else, you actually go and research this stuff, you'll actually realise what was going on. Yeah, the Philadelphia experiment was mentioned. Loads of things was mentioned. A lot of stuff that I've mentioned the other year or the year so, and other people have mentioned. Obviously, it's not just me, because I was researching into Donald Trump's uncle, which led me to Tesla. It's all on the Q map anyway. Yeah, Barron, the time traveler. The picture looks like him from the 1900s. Oh, it's just a coincidence. Is it really? What with all the stuff that's written in there as well? Numbers 17, this, that, and the other. About Anons is written in it. A group of Anons, and it makes me think of Time Travelers. That's on Netflix. If you sort of watch that. Are we the aliens? Are we like future ourselves, future people and self coming back to? Yeah, it's ace. So you need to go and listen to it.
All of his notes and maybe some experiments in the hotel. But they came in, they swept everything up, they took it in.
And then you think of Star Wars has a totally different meaning to what some people think it is.
They asked John Trump, Donald Trump's uncle, to go ahead and go over it. Now, something extremely interesting.
And I said the other year ago, so he was close to his uncle. His uncle would have sat there and given him information, like, you know, young, like Jedi. I'm passing on the information of what I know. I'm not joking. That's what I used to say. You know, he used to listen to his uncle. What does Donald Trump know? Then we talk about recently Project Looking Glass.
That may just be a tangent, but John Trump is the spitting image of Julian Assange, which
I'll find you a picture. I've done all this the other year. I put pictures up when I could put pictures up on here, because I'm not very good at doing it. If you watch this channel, they'll show stuff that I don't show, so people think it's not real because I'm not showing pictures. I'd just say go and research it yourself. Just like with the JFK Jr. thing, pictures. Now we all know about Julian Assange. He's okay. He's safe. But I'm not getting into that right now, but I will show you a picture of Julian Assange. Oh, thank you. I did put this picture up, this exact picture up a couple of years ago, and did show everybody on my channel. And I just said, I don't have to show stuff, you just need to go and research. But there it is. Julian Assange and Donald Trump John G. Trump's uncle, that is, if you can see. Let's see if I can get it in focus. Otherwise, just go and look for it. They've put his face over him. But oh my God, doesn't that look like John G. Trump? Julian Assange. Obviously, before he had a beard and all that. Very alike, isn't it? But this is what I say. And people go, no, it's just a coincidence. It's like, hey, reality's not what you think it is. Telling you that now for a fact, I know reality is not what you've been told it is. So let's carry on a little bit. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of a chat. And I'm going to go because you can go and listen to it if you've not listened to it already. Reality. That's why John Fo's channel, you know, you've always got that. This world is not what you think it is. We've been lied to, people.
Which WikiLeaks, they actually tweeted that out sometime last year. They said, you know, oh, by the way, here is John Trump and here is...
And that's not because we know what WikiLeaks is and we know, you know, if you're Googling stuff, everyone goes, oh, I'm Googling stuff for. It's like, they will put bits of truth out because they're going to have to. The mainstream media are going to have to start putting bits of truth out because they're falling all over in their own lies and they've got to ask that question, who is Q? They're going to have to because President Trump is tweeting it out.
You know, Julian, very, very interesting stuff, you know. So basically, the idea here is that if anyone was in a position to get the technology that might have been able to achieve something like time travel, it would have been John Trump, because he would have been, was he a physicist? He was some kind of a scientist.
Oh yeah, he was an MIT professor.
That's it.
A physicist, an electrical engineer. He was everything
an electrical engineer. Now, what I also heard ages ago is my dad, Waxman, is, what was that thing, Dad, where, you know, they're going about whose Q is the highest, or what do they call it? The highest, what's the word? Highest up-coded military, but they also said it's an energy highest, what's the word? Highest, why can't I think of the word? The highest, you know, you can't get up there unless you're the high, what's the word? The highest whatever, energy. And I think, Nikola Tesla, free energy, you know, his uncle was to do with electrical energy, Tesla, electrical. I'm just like, yeah, security level, exactly. Deputy of energy, security level. Doesn't that link up? Do you not think that links up? Because everything is energy and we are all energy, so it's free energy. We should be free, set the energy free, because we've been dumbed down. We have been trapped in the so-called matrix, whatever people want to call it. People call it many different things. Yeah, clearance, sorry. Clearance, but of energy as well. So doesn't that make sense? And I just want to throw out there before we just listen to a little bit more. This is the obelisks. I've said this before. The obelisks that are around the world are energy conductors. This is where some people go, well, I don't know what she's talking about. Well, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you shouldn't be watching. Think about it. Where are they? Most states of power, or whatever you want to call it, is London. Money. There's an obelisk there. It's an Egyptian one. DC is military. And the Vatican. We all know what the Vatican is. We all know what they've been doing there. We also know there's a lot of scripts and things that they've got maybe under the Vatican, wherever it is. But these places of high power, corruptness as well, have obelisks. So when everyone's like, hey, even when people are like, when Obama got in, boo, good job Trump got in, yay. But when he got in, you think about all the people, I don't even know how many people it holds where that obelisk is in DC when you do the argument, when you get in, you know, when like Obama got in, when Trump got in, the amount of people like, hey, yay, all that energy that's been emanating off you, they collect it. But I'm not going into that right now. I've talked about that before, but yeah, 17 intelligence agencies in the US. Yeah, 17. But an obelisk is that high for a reason. A lot of high towers are that high for a reason. A lot of churches with spires like this are high and have pointy spires on for a reason, because they are energy conductors or transmitters or whatever you want to call it, pumping out the energy. So no wonder Trump had to get some big buildings out there. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So anyone got what I was saying, then I was just getting a bit excited because anything to do with Trump's uncle, Tesla, time traveling, anything like that, as my dad knows, I get very excited. And it was my dad who brought me that last year. Baron Trump's marvelous journey, underground journeys thing. So just saying, you've all been lied to. Life is not what you think it is.
Would need to know to understand Tesla. I mean, this is why they brought him in. I mean, of all the people in the country, but this is the guy. You know, Tesla was upset.
I would say to Jack, what's cute? You wouldn't really want to research it now because it's been done. A lot of us have said you can look into it. You can go to the Q, but you might not understand. You might be thinking, oh my God, what's this? You can look into it, but basically it's all done now. It's all coming for 2020. All this 3 years on it. Was it 3 years? A lot of people know about this stuff before about the government, but there's much more to it. There's much more layers. But what I would say is it's coming. So you could start from the beginning. You'll see it's all happening now because what some people didn't get, and a certain someone in my chat before, is we all assumed this was happening last year. It's all happening now for 2020. It's past proves the future. They had to get us on board, getting us researching ourselves. So it might do you some good to look at, but basically a lot of it's been done. Yeah, it's been going on for 3 years now, and it's basically the pinnacle of where you're going to start seeing bits dropping in the news about Q. They will try to say it's a conspiracy. It's fake. That's why on a lot of videos that are monetized, it will say QAnon's is fake, this, that, and the other. But Trump's just started tweeting out about it. So you can look into it. Some people might give you some advice in chat where to look, because I don't look at a lot now because I've been on it and I'm watching the show. And once you know and your eyes can see, and you can read the coding and stuff and see what's going on and how the news reports, we all know they're fake news, as Trump would say. By the way, watch the Christmas Chronicles. I watched it again. It was ace to watch it again without the eyes to see, because if you don't know about the Christmas Chronicle film on Netflix with Kurt Russell in, it's ace. It is an actual Q Christmas film from last year. Was it last year? There's a lot of coded drops in it, but you won't see it if you don't know. You'll just think it's an ace Christmas kids film. But I will say at the beginning, it's got Patriots in it. It's got the Pierces. Always see it through. Cat and Teddy was the name of JFK Jr. his sister, what they used to call each other. Santa's sleigh in it was a boat and a plane, and it crashed, but Santa got back up. He didn't die, because if you know about Santa Claus, the United States, that's all linked up to JFK Jr. Could go on and on and on, because there's so much interlinked with everything. But what I'm saying is, we were all shouting out about this. It's not just me. It's not just people knew before. Yes, you can wake up to in the UK about politics, the gov, the police, Tommy Robinson, this, that, and the other. But it's much more beyond that. It's actually out of this world, if you want to say. It's so multi-layered, multi-dimensional, and when you actually go into it. And I tell you what, this is why you really need to listen to this. And Jake, if you go and listen to this channel, maybe some from back, you might enjoy it. But I'm sure some people in chat will give you great Q channels to go to, because I can't even think of them off the top of my head. Like, what are the good ones we watch? Because I don't watch a lot of them anymore, obviously, because I'm just sitting back and looking at how mainstream media reports stuff. Like, everything's always Trump hating, Trump's racist, Trump's this, Trump's that, Trump's been impeached. No, he hasn't been impeached, because it's not going to happen anyway. Kavanaugh's in Supreme Court. It's got to go to Senate, which will never happen. Even if it did, it's not going to happen, because he hasn't done anything. He's doing good. And also it means you're out of the White House. He isn't out of the White House. Everything they throw on him. Trump is the one who's making deals around the world, not causing man-made wars. They don't like what he's doing. That's why they hate him. Orb alert. There might have been an orb. I did ask them to come in it, because normally they come on, it's a bit darker, but that's energy as well. So we know about energy. But I know I'm talking fast. Sorry, but it's just when I get so excited about what's going on and what's coming. But this is why I say research. You don't have to believe anything I'm saying, but please be more open-minded for what you're going to start hearing in 2020. But to Jack, like I said, some people might give you good channels to watch, like, oh, what's it called? In Pursuit of Truth. This is a really good channel as well, Red Pill 78, on sort of Q stuff, where we go one week war. That's what it stands for. It's brilliant, and there's just loads of ace things coming, and it's better than watching TV. I don't watch TV. I look for alternative channels, because this is the best film ever we're watching, the best story ever to be told. Welcome to the Great Awakening. It isn't called the Great Awakening for nothing. It's not just waking up to politics and the government. That's old stuff. A lot of us knew, even if you were, because I was never into politics. People think I'm into politics because I support Trump. It's nothing to do with politics. They asked Trump to come in because he was a patriot to his country and he was going against what they were doing. You know, the elites, the Lumafati, whatever you want to call them, the bloodline families. Oh, we might have been from a bloodline family. Maybe so, but you don't have to be part of that, do you? People have got family and friends are not really into, even though you were born from you know, the same family doesn't always mean you get on with everyone. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, citizens investigate, report, but don't get too caught up in the rabbit holes that you might go in if you don't know about Q and you haven't gone down them rabbit holes with the whole child trafficking, sacrifices, the really gory stuff. You've got to come back up because we've looked at that. It's sad. It's not good. You have to come back up because that's the past. We're being in the now so we can have a good future for our kids, grandkids. That's what it's all about, basically. Yeah, Trump, thank you, Flora. Trump isn't a politician. Yes, he's seen on stage as a politician. That's not what it's about. You know, behind the scenes, that is not what it's about. They had to bring somebody in. So who were they going to bring in? Because normally we know with politics, the same sides are the same sides. Oh, we'll give you this one or we'll give you that one. It makes it sound a bit better, and then you think you've won something. No, but the whole world went against Trump, didn't they? Mean mainstream, lamestream, mafia media. Khazarian run, people get all triggered by the Jews. It's not the Jews, it's not the real Jewish people, it's the Khazarian fake mafia. The Khazarian mafia are fake Jews. So I just want to put that out right now when everyone's going on about this, that, and the other, and Zionist, yeah. Let's throw that out there because people don't do the research. That's why we don't want to be part of the EU, because the EU is part of, they are the Khazarian mafia. Go and research on it. That's why everyone gets so triggered with Israel and this, that, and the other. I don't even go into all that because all is coming out and all will be seen. And all those ones that were part of it are going to be seen as well. Like Q said, those people will not be able to walk down the street. If you're thinking about time machines and looking glasses, some people out there who think they're working for the dark side and they're not going to get caught. Well, if they've got something like that, you're going to get caught. And if you've been putting things out on YouTube, it never gets lost, does it? People are going to go, oh, let's go back to what you were saying ages ago, like these people who are trolling, and everything's going to get seen, you know? Oh, I think there was an orb there, I'm not sure. So he could have retired. Yeah, he could have retired and put his feet up, and you don't even get paid for working in the White House. Go and research that if people don't know. He could have put his feet up and thought, you know, sod it, I'll leave it to the next generation. That's what my mum said. I went, oh yeah, with the amount of how they've dumbed our kids down. I don't think so. But he came back. He was asked years ago, like I've said before and shouted out before, he was asked years ago. He said, no, I don't know. Oh, maybe when the time's right. Well, the time was right. They've been collecting this information for years. So when people say, yeah, he is, protected by angels, it's like, oh, you've been saying this for ages. You've been saying this. Who does it sound like? I'm going to have to do that impression. Do you remember Ford's? You know, with Kavanaugh, the glasses are coming out. I've not done it for ages. You've been saying this for ages, that something's going to come out. Every year you've been saying that something's going to come out, but I ain't seen nothing because I'm watching mainstream media. You keep saying this. It's like, for God's sake, why do you think it's took a few years? I don't even like the saying of Rome was built in a day. We know what the Romans are, but have patience, people. You've got to give enough time for people to wake up and actually research themselves and research yourself. Because a lot of people who come and comment, I don't just mean in my channel, other channels, are the people who sit there listening to mainstream media like God Honest Truth, and they sit there and they research nothing. And maybe some people don't understand it. That's fair enough. But when you actually don't research anything and you're just taking the mick out of people for coming up and standing up in the truth, like, I'm not bothered how daft I look. I don't really care. People thought I was off with fairies anyway, so it doesn't matter to me, and I'm not bothered what people think of me. A lot of people are, so they might be thinking it, but they won't stand up in the truth, whether it's on YouTube, in the street, talking to the friends at home. They don't want to look stupid. Well, they want you to think that way, so you won't stand up and talk about the truth. So just saying, yeah, courts had to be cleaned out first. Exactly. Revolution Revisited. The courts had to be cleaned out soon. How could you drop the indictments of all this crap that's gone on, and there's 130,000 or more with, say, 100 people in one that they've got in this amount of time? That went to court. If you still got the likes of Ginsburg in, like, where's she? Because I think she's gone. And all them corrupt courts, where it's not just in America, it's around the world. That's why we've had problems with Tommy and stuff like that. You're going to go up in the court that's corrupt. You're just going to get sent to jail. It's not going to happen, is it? So clean the courts out first. That's going to take a lot of time, like you've seen with the Democrats and all that. Then when it all gets dropped, the right people this time as the one who's done the wrong, not the people who have done the right and they're trying to put good people away, because that is what they do. We've seen that over in the UK with certain things going on. It's all over the world. Will get taken down. So think about it, people who come on people's channels and comment, well, why is it nothing's happening? Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. No, because the news aren't going to tell you about, like the guy said on there, 40 odd thousand, was it 40 odd? Sorry, not 40 odd thousand, 40 odd child trafficking rings around the world have been taken down, with how many people are involved in them. And because the news won't report that because they're part of it. Go and listen to that video. They're not going to read. Some people, there's stuff going down, but the mainstream media are not going to report it because they're part of the problem. They're in with the whole not letting you know stuff. But when you go to alternative channels, which Q says we are the news now, people who have great channels like, you know, really pumping out all the time. I'm not talking about my channel. I just drop on little things. You can see it. That's why you've got to get off your ass and research. So let's just play a little bit more. They stole our identity as at birth. Yeah, they did. They did. And we're on maritime law as well, which some people don't know. Go on, Dolly. I noticed you didn't give a hoot ages ago. I've never given a toss. I just talk. Whatever I'm into at the time, I'll talk about. And whether people think I'm off my head, I'm off my head. Because most people in this community and those on the dark side, we say, oh, they're just mad. Oh, they're off the red. Yeah, well, then we're all mad then, aren't we? BBC's up for sale. Well, that's all I can say. Yeah, POTUS has appointed 182 new judges to court. Exactly. Getting ready for what's about to come. So the person who came in before going on about Hillary and Obama, get ready. Get ready. I mean, I could have fell off this ages ago going, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. But I haven't, because you can see what's happening if you're researching properly. So let's just listen a little bit more. Australia is as far gone as the UK. Yeah, but it's all breaking down everywhere. So I just say we're all fighting. You know, it's a worldwide thing and we're all coming together. So a little bit more.
That's with electricity. You know, he's an electrical engineer. He's a physicist. You know, he can understand the stuff. He's a teacher. So, you know, he's
red eye.
A guy who's dedicated his life to going through information, you know, and making it relatable. And, you know, and Trump always talks about his uncle. He talks.
Just what I say to, is it Jermaine? Hi, Dolly, best from Germany. I enjoy the change into positive, love and light. Exactly. There's a lot of positive things coming. We're stepping away from the negative polarity. This is what it's about after, and that's why I said you'll hear me talking about a lot of not different things in the new year, which is nearly here. You know, I'm getting my dreads done next week. I'm so excited and all that sort of good stuff. But we've got to pump this positivity up, people. It's not all bad.
Oh yeah, he used to always talk about nuclear technology to me, you know, before it was really a
justice
thing, you know,
is coming
and stuff like that.
Real justice.
I don't know. Did he groom him? Did he get this? Did he get this tech? I mean, you know, there's other stuff too. I was finding. Like, there's some.
Yeah, Jermaine. Time of the gloves are over. The lies are open to see. Yeah, once you see, you can't unsee. This is why it's the Great Awakening. And people are. I've said this before. People are getting so irate because it's like, oh, we know about the government. Well, the systems are falling, and people get so triggered as well if you think we're going to have a new leader. Like they said, yeah, we may have to have new leaders, as in the ones for the light, to guide. It's the guidance, because to show people how to wake up. And people get so triggered, but it's like, you're getting triggered because high lifting the lid. You're getting triggered because the system's breaking down, which you can see, because that's why it's chaotic everywhere with Brexit. It's not just Brexit. It's not just America. It's worldwide if anyone takes a look outside your window, but the news aren't reporting on it properly. Because people are in fear. Don't be in fear. Yeah, it's a bit crazy and a bit mad, and it is going to be like that still going into next year. The systems are falling down. They have to. They have to.
Like the Sonora Club, it was called. And not necessarily time travel wise, but just.
Are you going tomorrow, Robin? I'm going. I'll talk about that at the end.
Like technology that people shouldn't have having technology at a time where you shouldn't have this technology. And I found that was a pretty interesting thing. Let me see.
You've had the technology for years and years and years and years and years.
From that.
While you're looking for that, I'd like to know if you
look at Hong Kong right now. Exactly.
Have any knowledge on Donald Trump's relationship with his uncle? I mean, what comments has he made about?
Now, I'm just going to show you this little bit because I want you to go and check this out when you're relaxing. It's a long one, but it's ace if you're into the whole Looking Glass project, which people are starting to pick up on now, thank God. His relationship with his uncle, this is what I used to talk about. His uncle used to sit with him. He had the Tesla notes. He would have told him about all this.
I mean, was he a significant impact like on his life? Did they grow up in close proximity to each other? I mean, because I wasn't particularly close with any of my...
See, Revolution Revisited, CEOs still stepping down. Exactly. And people think there's nothing going on. It's like, oh my God.
Uncles. I have a whole slew of them. But, you know, I mean, it just, I would imagine,
don't forget to read
maybe
the chat,
in like a wealthier
after.
family like that, you've got more time to spend with your family.
Yeah. I mean, I would, you know, no, like I don't have any actual quotes linked up, but they were very close. He talks about him a lot as if they were very close. It's his only uncle, you know, his father's brother, and he talks about him in very high regards, and kind of like in terms of being a mentor. So they were absolutely so.
Hi, Robin.
Trump's probably one of his biggest influences is the guy who went over Tesla's information after he died. And
I spoke about this. He went over the information. What do you think Tesla found? And if anyone you haven't seen the Philadelphia project, go and have a look at that.
And now here's something interesting that I was going to see. Here's a guy, Charles Duchow.
Sorry, yes, First Munch. You just said, yeah, France, Hong Kong, Ukraine as well. I think there's more, but we don't get to hear. It's all over the world. You do get to hear about it if you go on the right channels. Alternative, you won't hear it, a lot of it, on mainstream media. They put bits out, because they put little bits of truth out, but you won't hear it. That's why I say you have to go on alternative news channels on YouTube or wherever. Twitter's brilliant as well.
He claimed that in the mid-1800s, that he was part of a group called the Sonora Club that had discovered anti-gravity.
Can you make that document bigger?
And this is what I mean. If you go to this channel, which Tapper will put again in there, on Red Pill Phil, not Red Pill Phil, I keep saying Red Pill Phil, Red Pill 78, he'll show you the pictures and the documents and things, which I don't show you. So people think sometimes when you're not showing something, they want facts and figures. I'll just say to people, go and research it. You will find this stuff. Stop relying on people to do it for you. I'm not talking about people in chat, people listening after, you know, you get the odd trolls in and stuff.
On my screen right now, it's the full size of the page.
Oh yeah, you know what? It's only sharing that window. So if you, now that it's open, you got to go to share and then open that show that document.
Oh, okay, I see it.
Okay.
We'll just move on a little bit.
Yes, perfect.
Okay. Now, if I click over, did that change?
No.
Different flying machines. Basically, they look like UFOs.
Okay.
And, you know, according to this guy, now again, you know, this might not mean anything, but I just thought it was pretty interesting that I ran into this. Look at, now, according to him, they had discovered a former for anti-gravity called MB Gas. Now, this club's mission was to design and build the first navigable aircraft using this. So he says he doesn't claim to be a pilot or anything. He was just, you know, drafting it for them. So they find this notebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got all these things, you know, they look more like UFOs than airplanes and stuff.
And it's funny about the notebook thing, because I'm just watching a new series on Netflix. I think it came out yesterday or something called The Gift. That's really good. Not got through all of it yet, but it is to do with symbols. This woman just knew they were coming in from years ago, and she was been drawing them since a little girl. That's interesting. Like I said, Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency on Netflix is about, it's got Tesla stuff in it. You can tell when you watch it. It mentions a few things at the beginning. It's a series. It's about multi dimensions. It's about its ace. But it's all there. It's all there.
Yeah.
Just going through them, right?
You know what they remind me of is Vimanas.
Yeah, you know what?
Do I think Donald Trump will get another term? Of course he will. 2020. He's already in the bag. Of course he will.
Well, I didn't even think about that. They absolutely look like Vimana.
Yeah. Now, in case anybody doesn't know, a Vimana was something from the ancient.
He's not been impeached, so yeah.
Hindu texts. It was like Hindu holy books. I mean, I guess it'd be the Hindu equivalent of the Bible, but it's very old.
It's a little different though because there's just so many of them. Like it's not like a single book, but these are these ancient books, right? That the Hindus.
I guess it's more like just recorded information, really.
Right, exactly. Where they describe these big air battles that they had amongst these things that they observed. They said they came down from the stars, you know, the whole nine. And it's funny, you're right.
Yeah, Trump does know about the ascension. Someone was talking about that on the channel the other day. I can't think whose channel it was. And they said, a comment said, Trump knows about the ascension. Now, some of you might be thinking, what's she talking about? Because some people aren't awake to this sort of stuff. So I'm not going to go into that right now. That's something I'll be talking about when I come back on properly. Is yes, he does know about the ascension. And obviously, Q and everything's more than people understand it is as well. So some people think they're into Q. And, you know, it's only the stuff, but there's more to it than that. The quantum. Someone's talking about the ether on here. Yes. You know, it's so layered, like I've said before.
They absolutely remind me of them. Mm-hmm. Now here, say he had like scraps, you know, here's from the Wright brothers and stuff, but then he also has his sketches from back in the mid 1800s. Yeah, this one, this is funny. This reminds me.
Yeah, that's very true, Maggie. Medieval art is replete, does that say? Replete with space objects. It is. There's lots of like straight ones because I've researched on stuff, and when you start researching, you fall into all this anyway. Circles and long things that people, I don't know what they might have said in the things. Oh, it's just these things, they were depicting them. Well, they might have looked weird, but they were spaceships. Or I mean, it's funny as well talking about all that sort of stuff, because if we're on maritime law, ship law, sea law, but then I'm thinking the ethers, if anyone gets what I'm saying, is still water, spaceships. You know, we've had this technology for a long time. It's like they said, we could be 50 years out. I think more 100. You know, if people think, oh, what? Yeah, we know the military have got a lot of it. The military have got a lot of it, but that doesn't mean there isn't real. Maybe we would say extraterrestrial, or in the, you know, we'll go into that chat in the new year again, because all this stuff's going to start dropping. More and more people are talking about different things. You know, yeah, triangles with people in it. Yeah, there's so much stuff, and I just think it's so exciting. You know, it's better than watching Coronation Street. You know what I'm saying? I'll just keep you dumbed down, Jesus, and keep you fighting with your neighbours, because that's all it ever is. Each flash is another gifted cold. Yeah. And you know, like the rain. If anyone saw my orb when it was rainbow coloured, I mean, what is that? Is it a chariot? Is it what is it? It was rainbow coloured. Is it info? Is that a little ship? Is it yeah, I believe it's multi-dimensional. But all these things are coming in. But you really need to go and watch this, because it's got pictures in it. Some of you will know about stuff like this, like we said about, you will find in medieval pictures. What were those things in the sky? What were they? They'll try and say it's something else. But years and years back, they would have, if something looked a bit modern or alien, they would. That's why I say I love drawing. You can describe it more in pictures than you can say in words. And there's no looking at them pictures thinking, well, what is that? And you don't need a language through visuals, through drawing, because if you drew a tree, you know what a tree is. So there's no language barrier with visuals. Would you say visuals, pictures? Like Egyptians used to use pictures, so we would all know because, like they say years and years back, so they say we didn't have language. It was maybe more telepathic, or sending pictures to each other, or maybe an energy. That's why you know if someone's good, because you resonate with them and you feel their energy. If something feels off about their vibe, that's why you know, because people you say soul fam, I would say, just people who are on the same sort of thing, or from that soul family, you would resonate with each other because you'd feel their resonant soul, what do you call it, signature energy. You know, you can feel the vibe, if anyone gets what I'm saying. Yeah, look at the Da Vinci drawings. Exactly. When people research, they start to realise that it all starts interlinking. This is what I'm saying. Things were all starting to interlink.
This reminds me of Yoda's craft at the end of Revenge of the Sith.
So anyway, I'm not going to let you listen to much any more of it, because you really need to go and see it. For those of you who've seen it, you've seen it. For those of you who haven't, maybe you're going to need to listen to it, even if you're not into it all. And you might hear something that you like in it, because they do talk about a few things. But that was Red Pill Phil 78, Friday night live stream, Calago, I think it's Calago if you say that, of Where We Go One Week Wall, Marvelous Adventures in Time. So if you're into all this sort of stuff, go and listen to it. It was absolutely ace. They even talk about Melania, because like I've said before, Melania, you've got Trump, the one who shouts out, the one who stands up, the one who's not in fear of what people think of him and what people say. Think about it, people, especially Trump haters out there. They needed someone who's got the balls to stand up and say exactly what he means and not go, they're talking about me and calling me names, I'm going to have to step down. No, they needed someone who, one, knew about numbers and business, because he's making deals, not making man-made wars. Yeah, he might be a bit of a fog-on, but we needed a fog-on. But his wife, like they mentioned in there, we've mentioned it before, a lot of people know, she stood outside, she went to Egypt and stood in front of the pyramid with a white hat on. If you know about the white hats and the black hats, with the white hat on. She trolls in her dresses as well. She's had yellow flowers and things on her dresses to do with JFK Jr. She's quiet there in the background, but I've always said she looks a bit, I don't know what I'd expect a Palladian to look like. She's quietly doing stuff in the background, sorting stuff out while everyone's looking at Trump. You know, they talk about Melania and that, and there's that feminine energy as well. They do love each other. They try to make out on the news they hate each other. They're not loving to each other. Pathetic. That's how pathetic the mainstream media are. You are pathetic, as we all know. So, yeah. And they even go after the kids now. If people aren't scratching their heads now, I don't know what's wrong with you. So that's how I see it. You know, big up the Melania, because Melania's got a big thing to play in this as well, a big part to play. People say it's a stage. Yes, it is a stage, but they're on the stage helping people see, and that's why the other people in the play, like the mainstream media, are trying to go against it all. You have to get up there on this stage to show everybody. What else did they talk about? Yes, they talked about Julian Assange. They talked about energy conductors. They talked about a lot, but a lot they did talk about was the actual Project Looking Glass. And when you start looking into it, things that I was talking about when I first started talking about Q, and especially Tesla, as you all know, that's what I was talking about, Tesla. And Donald Trump's uncle makes absolute sense. And I'm just glad they've started talking about it, because that's what I was bringing it out. We got offered free energy in the night for aliens. Yeah, or whatever it is. But, you know, there's great things coming. People are popping off left and right, centre, around my town, plus suicides. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on, because they said people won't be able to handle it. They won't be able to handle the truth. Like it says on their memes, can you handle the truth? There's a lot of suicides going on with people who, because this is the thing, they're confused. So people do stuff like that, and it's so sad. But also there's a lot of suicides again in mainstream media of stars. Again, it's like, really? Such and such body's just suicide. I think it was some royal somewhere, someone who was talking out about Kevin Spacey. So I'm just saying, it's all going on, and that's why they said, you know, people aren't going to be happy when they start finding things out. A lot of people who aren't in the right set of mind, which, you know, it's sad, who are angry and stuff. Yeah, that's it. Kevin Spacey's accuser, exactly. Will end up maybe doing things like that, taking their own lives, because they're not mentally stable. That's going to confuse me even more. That's why I say we're here to help. You know, just hold on. I know people have been holding on a lot, but justice is coming. Justice is coming. So, hi, Miss Cham. I'm just going in a minute. Yeah. So, yeah, beware a lot. You know, you see all this in the news about, oh, someone's just. It's like, really. I'm going to read the Q poem out, because I've got to go. I'm supposed to be tidying up, because I'll tell you why in a minute. I've just got a few bits to tidy up. I've got some more meditation mats coming. I think I've actually finished another one. Hang on, I'll go and get it. And they're not actually, you know, the meditation mats, cushions, floor cushions, puffets, whatever you want to call it. They were this big, if anyone was wondering. And then I've started putting another one together. I'm just waiting for the stuffing to come. This is my second one. It's a bit more muted in colour. And I've got another one on the go. So that's just waiting to be stuffed. It's like I relax, but I'm still doing stuff. So I'm going to read the Q poem out that I did, you know, a while back. It's just still here in my mad book of notes of when I was a mad detective. So just saying, yes, I do read. When I did research, I don't research that on it now because you can't really research that much on Q for the beginning because it's all there. But like I said, to the people who, you know, I was researching at the time, everyone who's done it's probably been like a mad bloody detective at the time. That's what Q came out for, research and question everything. You should be questioning everything and you should be researching. Yeah, they'll be going up for sale in the new year because I'm just making stock up. So, and they do take a bit of time, but I may do like a live shopping thing with stuff that I've made. But anyway, I'm just waiting for stuff to come in. Right, where is it? Is it this bit? Let me just find the poem. I'm just laughing at the things I wrote down then, it's so funny. Oh, it's going back to Hitler, I wrote here. Oh yes, it's not took a while. So let me just read some bits that this was ages ago, just to see what I was writing down then. Yes, it took a while, so has the New World Order, which we are in, but not till its fullest. We were at one point, we're not now. That was a timeline, we're not in it anymore. Lots goes back to the Federal Reserve. Bankers and the Rothschilds and all that I wrote down. Yes, it's frustrating. Oh, look at this. Yes, it's frustrating waiting. Remember, this was a couple of years ago. Great things come to those who wait. That time is here. Buckle up, it's about to get real. Q is to show you all. Awake plus to wake that the evil gov elites around the globe are being taken down. Blah 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 blah. You know, that's just quite funny. Sorry, I'm trying to find this. Where is it? Those of you discussing Q, those of you who are dissing Q are not fighting for freedom but for division. Now the things are going to come that are coming is going to pop your bubble, and everything you have ever believed in will be no more. We need each other. See, I was writing all this stuff down. Sorry, I'm just going through the matrix, blah, blah, blah. Right, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, the witch is good. I'm on, what am I on? I'm on the new thing called The Gift. Right, here we go. This was written ages ago, everybody knows, but I'm going to read it out again. This is my Q poem, and it's just all scruffy, so let's see if she can read it. We all came together by the letter Q, picked up the breadcrumbs, researched, and knew what to do. The movement of the truth from dark to light, we are all Q, and we, the people, will fight for our freedom, our families, and our rights to live in a world rid of evil. It's all for our kids. So that's what we're doing it for. So we ride on the Q train with POTUS and R. So let's unite together and shout hurrah. The plan of the elite sky is falling down. They never thought she'd lose. They are such clowns. So the rise of the people, like the rise of the sun, is a light to the world to show us the way. Truth is here and it's here to stay. This goes through me. This time will be told for years to come. History we are making, and we're all part of it. It's been so much fun. We've laughed, we've cried, we've wobbled at times, but we stayed strong and we stayed on the ride. The time is now where we go one, we go all. It is now. The time is now where we go one, we go all. Patriots of the world, we win, they fall. Thank you, Q, POTUS and R. You set us free to be who we truly are. We the people. Where we go one, we go all. I think I need to publish that, but that is my poem that I did years ago in the book of whatever from ages ago. Someone get that to Trump. Or he may have seen it. So, you know, oh, I will say before I go, I was chilling out last night watching Bright on Netflix, the film about the orcs and the Brights and and all that with Will Smith, I think, is in it. I've seen it before, and there's stuff in that as well because they're sort of a bit reptilian, aren't they? But the bit where Will Smith's in the police car with the orc guy who's good, so he's a good like orky guy, you know. It doesn't mean because you're from a certain family you have to be bad. But there's a bit where he says in it, there's loads of messages, they're all in the films, but he says, oh, it's like a reset. We need to press a reset button. As he says reset, if you ever watch it again, because it is a really good film. I love films like that anyway. In the background, because they put it everywhere, symbols and God knows what. As he says that, at a shop behind, which would have had dollar signs on it, has 0.00 reset button. What would you call it? Reset button 0.00 is 0 point. You know, the cycles and all that, and that's what went past. I was like, I mean, I've gone through that film before, but it is a really good film when you think of the wands and all that sort of stuff. And if you've not seen it, check it out. That's called Bright on Netflix, and it's got elves in it and that, and it shows you LA. Was it LA? Los Angeles is where all the elves live, you know, because they're all posh and like elites and all that, you know what I'm saying? So it's, you know, it's quite interesting. So it's really good. So like I said, there's The Gift that's come out, that's new. If you haven't seen the Christmas Chronicles, you really need to see that. That is an actual Q film if you know about the codes. If you're not really into it, you probably won't see what others see. But yeah, that was ace. So, oh yeah. So the books, QAnon, Trump's Magical, Trump Barons, you know, Marvelous Underground Journey, and I've had that, and that's got old pictures in it. So when people do the research, you realise who actually he is. Yeah, I've got to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull a card out for us all, and I've got to go because tomorrow you'll be seeing a lovely somebody at my house. We're meeting some lovely other people. You may see Roxanne the Globalist and I. Whoop, whoop. With me. Well, it's not maybe, you will. So let's do a Nature's Whispers. Oh. So yeah, so please look for the link in chat. Through the Looking Glass. They've got Through the Looking Glass and Beyond, and you've got the channel Red Pill 78 on the one I've just been talking about. It's a good listen. It's a really good listen. But like I said, I just brought it up because that's a thing I was talking about a few years ago, was Donald Trump's uncle, how it links with Nikola Tesla. And if you want to go on about timelines and time machines, and if you enjoy all that sort of stuff, please go and watch it. If you don't watch it. It's simple. Like, I've got, you know, people that don't seem to like me that still watch me. I'm like, why are you wasting your energy? You know, it's like, dear me. Thank you, Dave. Oh, well, I've been showing my support for a very long time. It says, show your support. And that's, you know, there's a little fairy girl there. She's got dreads in, that woman. Show your support. That's to Mother Earth as well, and to everything. And you could call that a little spirit self as well. Show support. Show support. And I know a lot of you show support here. I'm going to have to do 3, aren't I? Because I just can't do 2. It just doesn't sit right. 1 out of there. Let's one have the chrysalis, because I always said we're like caterpillars. We went into the chrysalis stage in the dark, not knowing stuff, and then we come out emerging. It's beautiful butterflies when we know the truth. A bit scary there in the dark, but you know, it was needed. So oh, I'll do that again. Yeah, I saw that in the White House. Melania, red roses to white. Yeah, they had the white roses put in instead of red, you know. So I'm not having red on my Christmas tree next year. More like Tiffany blue and white or something. So Oh, 2 have fell out. There's a 3. King of Spirals. Who is the true king? 10 of Stones. And that's grounded because it's earthly. Crystals have a lot of information, and it's a woman. See, to me, I know what these cards can mean, but it still is that divine feminine energy, earthly. I've got a little star going on there, and if you watch the new Netflix series with the little girl with the star on her head, 8-pointed star, it's really ace, and I've just got into that. But why can I never find this book? To this one. I might read out her version of this book. Yeah, you want to see all the decorations they turned them from what they used to be. I actually like what she says in this book, so I'll just read a little bit out. So we all know we're going with Gaia as well, and it's that divine feminine energy that's coming in that I've talked about before. But listen to this. I love these. This empowering new world view. Well, there is a new world view coming in because there's new ways in what we need to come into what was. That is now unfolding across the globe, decreases the burdens of the materialistic worldwide view and increases awareness, because the consciousness is awareness of the living universe. It is an awareness of the living universe. The universe is living worldwide, where matter and spirit are equally important. In quantum theory, quantum theory, everything in our universe is interconnected and entangled, just like our sprite's hair. What have I said before about hair? Why am I getting my hair dreaded next week? Do you know? Oh, and the guy talks about in the links that we put in before about an antennae. That's what the obelisks are as well. So I love that, because it is a connection to what's around you. That's why your hairs on your arms and things like that go up when different energies are coming in, stuff like that. 33 watching 34 on mine. Is interconnected, entangled, just like our spirit's hair. It is entangled. We're entangled with everybody and everything. And, you know, the transformation to a living world view implies engagement with the unseen realms. Such engagements take many forms. Tarot reading, synchronicity, visions, dreams, and aha moments of enlightenment. The process sometimes begins with the thunderbolt, and at other times with a polite tap on the shoulder. Regards, both are clairvoyant, something calls to take stock of core beliefs and priorities. Selenite and the moon play a significant role in the personal transformation. Selenite is a vibrating crystal, promotes mental clarity and healing. It has been associated with transformation. The moon symbolizes the relationship between the material and spiritual realms. The Greek goddess Selene is personified of the moon. Now, some people think the moon's not real, or it's this, that, and the other. I believe it may have been taken over, as in it's not working properly as it's meant to. Just saying. Regarding the 10 of Stones, it's a polite tap on the shoulder from the fairy realm by spirit who fancies mental clarity and selenite. It reminds you to maintain a balanced perspective between the material and the spiritual realms. It's what it's all about. It's all about balance, like we've said before. Through the material world where we are in 3D to the spiritual realms, not realms. The higher, that go lighter up in densities, you would say. Awareness and consciousness. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean things are not there. We see a lot of orbs and things that come in, and people are seeing this, that, and the other. So, and the king, and it's that lovely blue again. There's a little bird there, which are normally like messengers, aren't they? The companion. We all have companions, a bit like your higher self. I am going in a minute. Let me see if I can find this one. Your companion. The companion is a troops version of Merlin. Yeah, I like the Merlin. And the wise old man's archetypes. The other members of the troop rely on the companion as they would on a professor, grandfather, or priest. His advice is always shrewd and astute, especially when it involves spiritual matters. He's always ready to lend counsel. The wise old man, an archetype, represents in Chrysalis by the companion Merlin, and Papa, is it Legba, is the masculine equivalent of the divine feminine archetype, because the divine feminine energy and the masculine are in balance with each other. Gotta go. See you tomorrow, Dad. Bye. The guru-style counsel is imparted through dreams and active imagination. The companion is a good inspirational card to place by your bedpost overnight or under your pillow. The kookaburra, the bird, helps the companion refrain from being too serious or impatient. There's that word again, impatient, too serious, impatient. Why is it never happening? Even the things on the spiritual, why is the event not? Ooh, impatient. Kookaburra's energy is the energy of the divine. Omens, synchronicity, and inspiration walk by his side to stay alert. The companion and his kookaburra bird make quite an entertaining pair. Their healing energy is humour and laughter. Because one of the biggest things that will help you heal is humour and laughter. You've got to have a sense of humour about stuff, because that side don't have a sense of humour at all. That's why we've got the best memes on the, you know, on the sort of, I'm not even going to say left or right side, just the damn right side. Do you know what I mean? The patriotic side. Especially in Q, we've just got the best memes ever, and that side are just not really humorous with anything. And you have to have a laugh about stuff, because if you didn't, you'd cry, and that's what can pull you through sometimes. Yeah, 2020, eyes wide open. Exactly. So I'm going to go. It's basically just saying, have a listen to it. If you're new to Q, it doesn't really matter now. But listen to that channel, because it's great, and that was a really good one, because obviously I don't listen to all the Q stuff now, because I'm just watching, sitting back with the popcorn. But when it's anything to do with Trump's uncle and Tesla and that sort of stuff that some people don't believe in, won't entertain, I'm all over that, because I love it. Because life is not, reality is not what you've been told it is. You know, you need to let go of certain programming and stuff, and just be open-minded. Just be open-minded and just think, what if? And you'll be fine. Just been thinking if I was just been doing any more drawings. I was doing one last night. Where's it gone? It's not. Oh, it's here. Oh yeah, I'm 5 foot. 5 foot. No, I think I'm 5 foot. Did I think I know, I thought I was 5'5". I think I'm 5 foot 4.5. 5 foot. Or was it 5'5"? I can't remember. I'm not tall anyway, whatever it is. I don't know. Is my dad here? Dad, what am I? I can't remember. I think I just started. I don't know if this is. Roxanne's tall. I am not tall. 5'2". No, I'm not 5'2". I think I'm 5'4.5". I thought it was 5'5". So I think this was the last one I was doing, and it's not finished yet. You know, when I say I'm doing my doodles with the sunflowers, it's not finished yet. I like to do these when I'm in bed sometimes. It just relaxes me, you know, instead of listening to stuff detached sometimes. So, yeah. Hi, Critical Thinker. Hi, everyone who came in. You know, this is one of my favourite ones, because I started colouring it in, but I haven't finished. Is man, woman. Some people could say Adam and Eve. I would say masculine and feminine energy together, got to be in balance together, you know, sort of thing. We are all one, you know, it doesn't matter what colour skin you have, what tradition you come from, and many things are in the same things, and everything interlinks with everything. And you'll see that in the link that I was talking about. So, you know, my baby girls are curling on my necklace. What do you mean? So yeah, this is won't be here soon. It's all getting, and she said it's going to be over 2 days now. It's supposed to be getting done over 1 day. Apparently it's going to take 2 days. So yeah. Well, this needs finishing off. This tattoo really needs finishing off. But if you don't know, I had this tattoo done years ago, and I was like, I need something like Mother Earthly. So to me, it represents Mother Earth, and the butterflies are me, my sister, my nana, and my mum, women. But this side never got shaded. It was 2 hours, and this needed shaded. And I was like, I need to go back and get it shaded. But I thought, no, because it's meant to be dark to light, so it's staying like that. And then the little thing she's got on her head, covering your pineal gland, makes me laugh because it's just off center there, so it looks like a Q. So it was meant to be like that, so that's staying like that. But in the end, I think I'll probably end up with a I want some bits around there, but it has to be for me and not just getting something because someone else has got it and I think it's trendy. It probably will be flowers and stuff. Some people might think, no, don't get that bit done, I don't like tattoos. Nah. I don't do what people want me to do. I always do what I want to do, and that's just for me. I had dreads when I was in my 20s for a bit. Yeah, well, before I go, I'm getting them next week. I will be talking about it when I get them and why and what my thing is, before you get like people making silly comments because they're either uneducated, think it's only to do with certain people, or you know, anyone can have them. I mean, you can have them if you've got straight hair. I have, you know, I don't have to have a reason for having them, but you know, I think they're beautiful if you look after them. Not saying people who just let them go, that's a piece of fluff, by the way, that I've just pulled out. You know, but if you have curly hair, naturally curly hair, you'll understand probably how it's hard to tame. Not that mine's afro curly, but it can be really curly and it knots up, and I don't like putting stuff on it because normally to tame curly hair you'd put products on it. I can't stand products, it's chemicals, I can't stand it. I don't like straightening my hair because you're burning your antennae, you're just burning your hair basically. A lot of people have curly hair today, it's you wouldn't know because they use straighteners. That's why I tend to just put it in a plait. And as soon as moisture gets to it, that's it. You can straighten it, you can do what you want. As soon as you get moisture on it, it just goes poof. So I'm like, oh, this is so annoying. Hi, Dolly. Hi, Paul from Newcastle. So, yeah, tomorrow I'm off somewhere to meet some lovely people, you know, in the awoken community of whatever they're on. I will be with Roxanne. She is staying with me. So we may do a little video tomorrow at some point or whatever to say, hi, we're here. We're meeting up with loads of other lovely people. I won't be filming per se myself, but if anyone is and you get to see bits of it, you get to see bits of it. I don't know. But yes, it's just great to meet up with like-minded people. And I didn't know about this. I only got told the other week and I was like, yeah. Because obviously you can be yourself around people. I mean, I always am anyway, but it's just nice to not be in a place where it's just full of people that are asleep, that, you know, we're not really awoken yet to certain stuff, but they will do in their own divine time, but that's just good. So just remember, if you know what I'm going on about and you're going, please don't expect me to, I know this sounds awful, to me to know you off your name if you're actually in chat and you're going, because I'll probably need my memory jogging. And even if you've met me before and you've been on here, I might still not recall, you know, because some people come up to you like, hi, and it's like, you know, I don't see people's pictures all the time, so I might not know. So if you do come over, just sort of say, I watch you and blah, 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 and then I'll have to remember your name if I remember. But it's all good. But it's just that some people, I think, sometimes might think you know them off the name, and it's like, you know, I can't actually remember where I'm going to. I'm going to a meetup somewhere that they have every month. I think Roxanne the Globalist Nice put it on a channel. I can't remember what it's called. Tapper, you know, you're going. What is it? I can't remember. Oh, I need to go back to bed. Can't get this. So yeah, Space Wars. I think it's not what people think it is. Space Force, I should say. Laugh out loud. You remember me? Oh yeah, sorry, I'll remember you, Tapper, obviously. What's the meeting? I can't even remember what it's called. It's up somewhere. Have a blast. Balance and wholeness is yours. Exactly. And that's why, you know, this picture is these energies, you know, as we know, it's been too man-made. The balance is coming back with the feminine energy, so it can all be in balance with each other. can get back to what we truly were meant to be and what we were truly meant to be doing, and you can bring in, you know, this new way, if you're in that mindset. That's what we're going back to. So if you're there tomorrow, because I can't even remember what one it is I'm going to, but I'm going. I don't really need to know what I'm going to. I'm just going. I'll try and you'll probably see me and Roxanne at some point. I'm excited to meet people that I met at the Global Eye Tour convention, because some people I got to talk to, some people I didn't get to talk to that much, and that'll be really nice. Yeah, Trump and Melania, whoop whoop. And you know, people who have that bit of way where they go on other people's channels and think people are this, that, and the other, and they just believe what other people say about other people, should maybe go to meet people when they have meetups, you know, because people don't realize you're getting swayed off other people. You haven't, you know, for instance, maybe met me or other people that you're being told off other places that are not this, that, and the other, but you took no time out to meet people or come into chats or realize who people are and what their energy is all about. You'll just go and listen to someone in another chat somewhere and believe what they're saying because they're hating on someone else, because they haven't took the time of day out to meet these people, or it's just because they don't like what they're saying, because they think they're saying something wrong, because they think everything they say is right. You know, if you're on the whole truth anyway, of, you know, you've been lied to, then you need to start connecting with people and stop hating on people, basically. You know, and there's some people out there, when come next 2020, come next year, which is nearly here, you'll see people who may have found out they were wrong about people or things that they found out, and they'll dig their heels in. They won't come on to say, sorry, I've got it wrong, I've got that person wrong. It takes more of a man or woman to stand up and say that they were wrong about something. It, like I said, it doesn't bother me. If something happens in 2020 where I was wrong about Trump, which I definitely don't think I am, or this, that, and the other, I can stand up and say, oh, I was a bit wrong about that one, or, you know, well, that's what I thought at the time, but obviously that's not happened. I haven't had to say that yet, because there's nothing come out to me yet that I need to stand up and say, do you know what, sorry, I researched that and I got it a bit wrong. It's not that we're all right on absolutely everything, but at least we're researching and we're trying to, and we can still change our minds where people will say, oh, you're contradicting yourself. It's like, no, at the time, so I was looking at, that's what I thought, but there's not much yet that I've had to go, Some people might say, yeah, on the Q front, because it hasn't come out. Are we in 2020 yet? That's all I'm saying. Patience is a virtue. So, you know, people who are being impatient, it's just because they want everything now, 17 thumbs up. Well, sometimes you have to wait a bit, you know. I get extremely disconnected when it's a negative. Yeah, so do I. And there's so many negative people out there who just want everything now. That's service to self. It's service to others. So you're going to have to wait for people to wake up. Sorry, but you are, and that's how it goes. It's not all brought down in a day. How could that happen? If it took over as much as it was, as long as it was, for centuries and centuries, it ain't just going to take a year. You think that next year is just going to be all of it? No, it's starting to trickle out. There's so much work that needs to be done, but at least people are waking up. You know, that mass majority, they need to wake up. Like I've said, once you see the lies, you can't go back to going to sleep. Yes, it is very matrixy, but that is what's going on. You can't go back to sleep. They know, I will say this again, they know on that side, whatever you want to call them, that once a majority of the masses, because I don't think it's a whole masses, there's enough of us that are awoke, they lose, because we see how they work. Now, that's a fact. So, you know, so all I want to say is, she said she weren't coming on again. I shall see you soon. But you might see me at some point tomorrow, hopefully, maybe, with what we're doing tomorrow. I'm just happy that I'm going to be around some people. I don't really drink, but I'll probably have one or two, which will take me about God knows how long to drink one drink. If you remember last time we went out, I think Tapper got me a drink, and I think I was drinking it for about 3 hours, because I don't really need it, but you know. And I haven't had a drink over Christmas because I'm just not into it, but I might just have one or two, you know. But yeah, and I'll see you tomorrow. It'll be ace. I'm just so excited. It's so great to be around people at whatever level of awake you're at, just because you're aware of certain things, even if we're not on the same page, because I know there'll be people on there that maybe not on the same page as me, blah, blah, vice versa, but we just know that we're trying to help, you know, and it's a good place because everyone can get it out of the system. Because if you can't get this out of your system, and, you know, there's family or friends you can't talk to, maybe in the new year, start going to these places where, you know, we will be, or other people in communities you can get to link up with people so you can release all this, because it is good to talk, you know, about these things, and vice versa. You might find things out that you didn't know about. You're like, oh, what, go and research about that. Oh, I didn't know about that. Maybe I should research that, because it actually interlinks with that, because everything is interlinked. And it will help you feel a bit more positive, because like they said on the video on Red Pill 78, there's more people awake and more people onto this than people know. I've been saying that for ages. They said, I think there's more people. I'm like, there definitely is. There is. If you actually look around, not just on the channels that you stay on, have a look around. Because I go to a lot of things, I hear a lot of people talking about things. So there are people waking up. Eggnog, I don't think I've ever had it. Positive, not negative. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go, because I've got to tidy up a bit, get things straight for Roxanne, because she's staying with me. And you know, there's people out there who said that I can't do meetups in my town. Well, I will be doing one again in the new year at some point, and I'll invite who I want when I want, because that's nothing to do with people out there who assume that I can't hold just meetups where people can talk about anything they want to, because a certain person lives in my area and doesn't want me doing it. It's nothing to do with them. I will be doing one. Yeah, whoop, whoop, you know, in the new year sometime. We will be doing one in my hometown when I choose and where I choose. Yeah, but King, we are all communicating. It's not too late. That's what we've been doing. That's why the whole Q thing came out, and they're not winning. So keep positive, and I will see you very soon. Don't think I've got anything else to show you. I just wanted to basically throw that video out there because it was ace. And like I said, I loved it just because it was talking about Trump's uncle, Nikola Tesla. Thank you, Nikola Tesla. And you know, the stuff I was talking about ages ago, because I just love anything to do with Nikola Tesla's chat and all that sort of stuff with free energy, because that's what a lot of it's about. Free the energy, free us as well. So I shall see you soon. I need to go and redo my nails because all my nail varnish is coming off. And yeah, just keep watching and being aware of everything that's going on, and keep watching Trump's tweets, because he's tweeting out about QAnons now. And one of the last codes was, when will they ask the question? Big things coming. They're going to have to ask it, because he's tweeting out. If people can see what he's tweeting, somebody's going to ask that question. This is what we've been waiting for on the whole bringing Q in. For the people who were sitting on the fence, it will bring more people in. So yeah. Happy new golden age, Dolly and the gang. Thank you, Bella. Happy new golden age to you too. Exactly. I wonder why Trump Jr. was stood behind some golden elevator doors a bit ago. It's like, how golden age. Some people get triggered by it, but you know. Yeah, so I will see you soon. I've got to recharge everything. See you soon. Where we go one, we go all. We'll see you soon. I'll probably see you tomorrow. Maybe me and Roxanne. So where we go one, we go all. Bye.